Dan Harder with CPM Beta Raven. Beta Raven is the automation division for CPM. Right now we're talking about the micro ingredient scales. This is what we would use for ingredients that you have normally put in your mixer that come in a 50 or 80 pound bag. Instead of putting it in by hand and counting on your workers to measure it up properly, what you would do is you'd store your product in these stainless steel bins, and then when you needed a particular ingredient, we would turn on this auger and dose the material into this weigh scale that is suspended underneath here. And then once you reach the proper amount of that ingredient, we'd shut the auger off, and then we would dump that product out into your mixer or into a conveying system to go to your mixer. Now, CPM Beta Raven's been making these particular scales for over 40 years. We're one of the industry leaders in the scale manufacturing. Some of the things that is unique to CPM Beta Raven scales is we use fully box tube frames that gives you a very sturdy, stable platform, so you don't have any shaking or vibration while you're trying to measure up your ingredients into your scale. We have several different designs. This is what we call our micro scale with a funnel hopper. You can see the hopper looks like a funnel, and it is a gain in weight. So if you have multiple ingredients, we will keep weighing up until you meet the maximum weight that you're looking for in that batch of the combined ingredient weight. We also have what's called a loss in weight. It is same type of bins, but each bin is suspended by load cells individually. And as you draw product out of there, if you need 1 kilo of product, but you have 100 kilos in the bin, we're going to turn the auger on until that bin reads 99 kilo instead of 100 kilo. And that's the loss in weight. We also have a big bulk bag, which is a big super sack type weight that comes out. Some of the things that are unique to Beta Raven is we do use these gear motors. They're connected with the Lovejoy coupling in here. They're very easy to operate. You just, if you ever have to service them, you take the coupling out and you just pull the auger and the motor out, and you do whatever service you need to. This type of bin here, there's 4 different load cells, 1 on each corner. Again, I mentioned this is a funnel type hopper. We also have what's called a rollover hopper. It is a bin or trough that runs underneath here that all the product drops into, and when you get to the proper weight, the bin dumps over and dumps your product into a conveyor or into the mixer. All of our bins are always going to be stainless steel. CPM Beta Raven does not make any plastic bins. We do this for durability and for cleanliness and for safety. That way you don't have to worry about cross-contamination from product if you ever happen to switch products from the bins. Our scales are made in Waterloo, Iowa, and they're customizable. So if you have a specific need or a specific frame design or size, we can get with your engineers and we can design it to meet your needs, your space requirements. We're up on top of the platform for the micro scales to talk about the different styles of the bins, bin lids. This particular bin you can see stands up quite a bit higher and is at an angle. The reason for that is this is what we call our dust collection hood. So if you're in an environment where you're worried about dust when the bins are loaded, we hook a vacuum system up to this back nipple here, and it draws any of the dust. When your operators open up the lid, there's a vacuum that draws all the dust out of there instead of coming up. Now this style lid here is what we call a half lid. It's for ingredients that when you make a batch, you have very little bit of ingredient into it, but you use a lot of them throughout the course of the day. Instead of having somebody reload this bin multiple times a day, you'll draw material into this hole here through from a larger storage silo or a larger super sack, and it'll feed into here, and it's always going to be gravity fed. So you'll always have a full bin in here, and this dust sock here is just to relieve the extra pressure in here. And this is our standard lid right here. So this would be a standard option that comes in here. The lid will come just like this. Your workers will open it up like that to fill the bin, and we have a measuring tape so you can see how full the particular bin is with the auger at the very bottom. Now the standard auger for our microsystems is a 3-inch auger. There is an option for a 4-inch auger also if you have product that is very light and fluffy or high volume that you need to go through. Now one other aspect of the CPM Beta Raven scales that does make us very unique is what we call plug and play. When you order a scale from CPM, you get all of the I/O and the motors automatically terminated into a control panel, and that control panel will be mounted on the frame for the scale, so that when you get the scale to your facility, all you have to do is set it in the proper location, bolt it down, and your electrician runs the electricity, the power to the panel, and the communication back to the batching system, which is a Cat5 cable, and you're ready to go. You're ready to up and run. You don't have to wire each individual motor to the micro scale. And that is unique to Beta Raven. None of the other scale manufacturers do that.